What up, gamers? I'm Jason, and today on Dice and Dragons, we are back with our regular host for another episode of Kickstarter Excess for Value. I'm going to introduce the game in just a moment, but we'll let our regular hosts introduce themselves first because, you probably clicked on the thumbnail. You should know what we're talking about already. If not, well, then you're a faithful listener, and thanks for watching.
Hey, everybody, it's Rob and
Anna Marie
from the Meeple Dungeon out here in Kelowna, BC. You can find us on Twitter, YouTube, and our own podcast on all the major podcasting sites, including Apple Music, which we were struggling to get onto, but it's there now.
The Meeple Dungeon podcast.
Meeple Dungeon, yeah.
Hey, folks, Ryan here from Mr. Rao's Gaming Rants and Reviews, and you can check me out on YouTube under Mr. Rao's. It's Mista. It's my gangster teacher name, Mr. Rao. And I'm ranting and reviewing about all sorts of different various topics. So come check me out.
Awesome. And it's always a pleasure to be back with everyone. So today we are talking about Anastyr. It is published by Mythic Games. Designer is Philippe Ville, and we've got a lot of artists, the primary one being Paulo Parente, that has been working on this for a while. You may recognize some of the characters if you happen to pick up some of his packs from the Zombicide fantasy games. So now I'm going to turn it over to the Pledge Master, Mr. Rao, and he's going to show you what you can expect to see on this ugly Kickstarter page.
Yep, nope, not a fan of this one again. It's a growing trend. It's starting to really become very annoying.
But to be fair, we can't take it out on Anastyr here. They're all in the same horrible boat.
Yeah, no, yeah. Kickstarter, you got to fix whatever it is. Give the content creators, give these people, the publishers and whatnot, give them some more tools to use. Look at this side. Look at the left-hand side. There's so much room for tabs that I can just click on and jump around. That's all I want.
You heard it here.
Yeah, give us the tabs. Give us what we want.
Give me the tabs, or else you too, Kickstarter, are going to be the result of a Mr. Rao rant.
Those are getting more popular, so be careful.
Yeah, true.
Okay. So take us through this, Jason.
Yeah, so Anastyr, this is it's a side-scrolling adventure campaign game that is for 1 to 4 players, plays in about 90 minutes, and for ages 14 and above. You can tell that just by the miniatures, it's definitely more on the mature style of the theme. What is going on in this world is it's very much reminiscent of Conan and some of the stuff that was done by Robert E. Howard. This does take place on Earth, but it's in that lost sort of Bronze Age where dragons and magic and all that type of stuff still exists. You're I'm drawing a blank at the name of the continent that you're on, but it's in the place that will become the Mediterranean Sea just before the fall of Atlantis, and it sank. So you are in that dark time. And what is happening is that there is a sorceress named Anastyr that is essentially reviving the Black Dragon Volcar to once again terrorize humanity. And there is the leader is the character that has the twin swords. She leads the caravan. Her name is Anastyr, I believe. And yeah, we'll see that when we get a little bit later down. So she's leading this caravan to stop Anastyr going through a whole bunch of different scenarios. And this does have a full campaign mode. You can swap out and change your characters. And the side-scrolling aspect is really designed based on like Golden Axe because you're going to be moving from east to west. So also if you played a Fast and Furious Highway Heist from Funko Games, it has that effect of it really mimics this movement through the level, which I think is pretty cool. And yeah, it definitely got our attention. And did I miss anything at all? I think I covered the basics of it.
I think that's pretty good.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Oh, I did forget one thing. Like those side-scrolling beat-em-up games, combo. So yes, you'll be helping out each other, and you can pull off crazy, devastating moves, and like something more out of like a fighting game. If you take too much damage and you have enough fury, you can power up and do some epic special attacks as well, which just seems really cool.
Love me side-scrolling action. I'm really pumped up for the new Ninja Turtle one that's coming out soon.
Ooh, that looks good. All right, so are we going to start with the companion pledge? That's one of the nice Kickstarter exclusives that you get. So we can talk about that because it is included. If you back on Kickstarter, it is $15 during the pledge manager. It is a special creature that is difficult to control, but because it's essentially like a whole bunch of creatures put together, and it does seem really neat. It's the Sylphy and a portal combined to form a single creature, and this is an extra ally that you can get that one of the party members can control.
And it's big too. Nice 70 millimeter base.
Yeah.
Nice and chunky. Yeah. So you mentioned it there. The companion pledge is going to be 130 US, well, 166 there. It says Canadian, getting you the core box, avatar box, which is this guy, and then all applicable stretch goals. Hopefully I can scroll here and find.
Sure, you can scroll and find them, Ryan.
Yeah, so
there you go. Oh, whoa. Don't have to go too far.
Ooh.
I will say this, in terms of what's laid out on the page, Mythic are experts at Kickstarter, and they've done a really good job of getting that information to you quickly and upfront.
That is true.
Yep.
I agree.
Good. Don't give me a whole bunch of fluff and then dabble and then fluff. Give it to us right here. Core box, avatar box, which we just saw just above there. Applicable stretch goals. So you can see here, maybe I can zoom in this a little bit. There we go.
Nice.
2 booklets, the rules and scenario guide. You get a bunch of dice, your hero dashboards, double-sided adventure tiles, 350 plus cards. That's a lot of cards. 74 plastic miniatures. That's a lot
of minis.
And 80 plus various tokens. That's a lot of tokens. You're getting a lot of stuff inside of this box. 16 damaged loot markers. As you can see, kind of just like the mock-up of the box. It's a deep.
Yeah.
It's going to be full. It's going to be chock full to the brim.
This one, I'm sure if you go all in, this will be a Calyx cube.
Yeah, so you can kind of see a little bit of an overview, and like there is the pile of miniatures.
Yeah.
Some nice big dragons going on there.
Good variety in the sizes of them too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, lots of different heights and sizes. It looks really good.
All right, so there you have it. We've taken a look at what's in the companion pledge, and this is a big change. You don't have to break it down like a lot of what's in it. It's very straightforward. If you know big miniature games, you're getting the hero boards, you're getting your cards, you're getting your tokens, and you're getting your miniatures. So, and I have to say, this is $130. What do we say for excess or value? This kind of seems like it's spot on for me. That being said, it
becomes around the new standard.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sadly, I think you're right. I think this is the right amount considering all the other different Kickstarters we've looked at. But I mean, a year ago, I would have said that this is too expensive, but now it just seems to be the going rate.
Yeah, with everything that's changed, cost of freight, things like that, 130 seems to be what a 100 or 110 game box would have went for in 2020.
That's what I would have said. About $100 game back a couple years ago is now $130 game. Yeah.
So I don't really see any excess here. I don't see any value either, except for the avatar box. And
yeah, that's what I was going to say. Don't kid us. That avatar ain't free.
Yeah.
Don't put free on there. It's not free. We're paying for it in there somewhere.
They're paying for it in there somewhere, but they're milking someone else for it if you buy it during the pledge manager.
Yeah.
Yes.
They're getting everyone that late pledges, because that I know has been one thing with Mythic, specifically recently, because of a lot of the things that have happened with Solomon Kane and Joan of Arc, people jumping in on this stuff as late as possible, just so that they're not waiting a very long time.
Yep.
Makes sense. Now, only 452 backers at that companion pledge. Must mean that there's something else going on.
It definitely means there's something else going on, but I think it says like, and we can probably just stop talking about the companion pledge here, is that there's neither real excess, there's not a ton of value in this pledge. You're getting that avatar box free. It's like $15. You see that like little $15 off. Well, that's just the avatar, which apparently you can do without. So this really just is a $130 game. If you want it, you want it. If you don't want it, you don't want it. And I don't think there's really much more to discuss on that one.
Yeah.
Yep. So for $30 US more, you can get the Dragon Pledge, which is the last pledge level.
Which I think they're giving you $10 savings, I believe, compared to the rest, because I believe the Dragon box expansion is 40 American. So
okay, yeah.
Dragon looks like.
Yeah, so Dragon Pledge, core box, avatar box, and you also get this Soulless, I believe that's how you're pronouncing it, the Soulless, the Red Dragon expansion, which is one miniature with 2 interchangeable magnetic backs.
Because you can ride the dragon, because he's a good dragon. So, I say, yeah, I know, like, it's like, do I want the dragon? Then part of me is like, I can actually attach my miniature to the dragon, which is something like, as we discussed the play, like, I don't know.
Yeah, we have, because we haven't mentioned that. It was up in the little description above that some of the miniatures have magnets attached to them so that they can be mounted to certain things like this really sweet looking dragon.
Yeah.
The character actually is 2 miniatures. They have a mounted miniature and they have a regular miniature, which I think
there you go. You can kind of see it right here where you can remove the back piece. You can remove the back piece and then put your
that's so cool.
Yeah.
Put your miniature on that.
That's so
Is there like I when I was reading, I don't
the game. Can I just fly around with the dragon and go and just burn everything? Like that's all I want to do.
Yeah.
yeah.
Door burning anything the countryside. Tractor.
It's gonna be in my head all night now, Ryan.
But I guess this is gonna be solid.
Oh man. Is there any
Sorry.
go ahead.
No, go ahead. We don't have to pay Homestar Runner royalties or anything, do we? Is that a freeware? Is that open source now?
Is there any extra gameplay that comes with Soulless? Or is it just the dragon?
There's got to be something to it, right? Like,
well, I don't know. Like it doesn't say like an extra scenario or anything, right? It's an expansion. So is there like, I would assume there would be some added gameplay with it as well.
Oh, wait. Yes, I did read something.
It's probably somewhere down this. It's probably somewhere down on this horrible laid out Kickstarter page.
No, he replaces a token in the box. So he is included, but he's just cardboard. So there's something you can ride him or get him, but.
So he's just a piece. It's like the expansion is just for him so that you can ride him. Otherwise, you've got the token to be him.
Yeah, you could use the token, but
well, how lame is that?
It's cool but lame at the same time.
I think that's a bit of excess.
No, but like how lame is a cardboard token compared to this monstrosity dragon? This is
when I imagine riding a dragon, it really seems really weird to like pick up a cardboard piece and like don't have my miniature fall off.
I just like that's what you're getting for 30 US more.
Yeah, you're just upgrading to a wicked plastic miniature.
It's an extra mini.
Yeah.
To me, that I don't know.
But is there what are the specs? I don't see. Is it for? Hopefully, it's further down because there's no specs on how big this dragon is.
There's probably some information in the just like the add-on.
Well, and when you look at that photo of the rider on their back, it kind of gives you perspective on how big it is, because that rider is just your typical kind of miniature size, right? Like a couple inches tall. So it's going to be fairly large.
So
I feel like for another pledge, I feel like you would get more gameplay in it or something like that, as opposed to, otherwise it just seems like it should be an add-on as opposed to a pledge level.
Well, should we take a look at add-ons?
Yeah, why don't we do the add-ons? We can go back up to the stretch goals because Mythic's always been really good about what they provide in terms of stretch goals. Why don't we just skip past the All Mother secret right now? Let's just see if there's some more information on Solus. If there isn't more, we'll jump back up.
Well, there's lots in that expansion.
Yeah, which is
there we go.
Funny to me.
Solus expansion.
Wow,
$40.
Yeah, so it'll be 40.
Don't tease me with a painted version. Come on. I hate it when they do this.
More details.
That's what my dragon could have looked like if I'm actually talented.
No.
So that was it.
So it's $40 if you get it as an add-on. But it just still, they're saying expansion. I feel like there's got to be more in there. Because otherwise it would just, to me, if it says expansion, it adds gameplay.
Well,
there's gotta be more on this page somewhere.
I think that's all of it actually. Like,
Oh, okay.
Wow. Okay, I'm just gonna do a quick. Sorry, folks. I'm just gonna do a quick. Oh, here's another thing. What's in the core box? Much more detailed.
Yeah.
List.
It cuts down the different types of cards and things like that.
Yeah, different types of cards, different types of tokens. Kind of gives
Those are
you
the characters.
Yeah, you get a glimpse of your heroes.
there's something I noticed earlier on while looking at the heroes. Pardon me. For the 6 standard heroes, I believe 4 of the 6 are female.
Yeah.
Which is very cool to see. It's that I don't think that has ever happened where 2/3 of the
Especially in a
heroes
game
are
like
actually
this.
female. Yeah.
I've not seen a big miniatures game before.
No.
Yeah, it's pretty neat. And they all look pretty cool.
Yeah, they all look badass. So it's really cool.
My gosh. Yeah. When they break it down detailed, man, you get a
all
lot.
the different minis, the different beasts you can tame.
Here's all the different mounts.
Yeah, there's a hyena and a horse and a little dragon.
And you can see what the characters look like mounted on them too, which looks just
That looks really, really
It
cool.
looks wild.
That's fun.
I love it.
And the minions, the bad guys.
mounted bad guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My gosh, these things look so
And
cool.
then you got Anastyr
And that's an Anastyr.
Anastyr, yeah.
Yeah.
And Volcar.
Volcar.
About our minis, so they give you some description.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, there's your
Fantastic.
mythic scale down there on how big things are. Our miniatures 35 mil scale, larger than usual 28 mil. So yeah, they're fairly large to even the small ones.
I was just hoping that there was going to be more about that. Nope, that's Solus expansion is just the big massive dragon.
Yeah,
That's what it looks like.
We should put some more details on the actual size of that dragon because that's really unfortunate. I think it's cool, but as Anne-Marie's saying, it feels like they either mistitled it as an expansion or it just should have more details as to what the size of the dragon.
I'm betting they just mislabeled it, kind of an oversight, calling it an expansion.
Yeah. Like I think because they've got that other expansion. And to me, that seems like that expansion would be part of a pledge, right? Because it's got like more gameplay, it's got different minis, it's got like everything on there. I'm kind of surprised that there are 2 levels and that's seen as an add-on as opposed to part of a pledge level. So I'm curious to see if that will come later, maybe like if it'll go into a pledge
Not
level.
if it's following Mythic's typical way they do things. They're going to get you on the add-ons and they're going to get you with as many of them as they can. I remember backing Solomon Kane and it was like box, add-on. Like a big pledge that they ever did. They never really did the CMON thing and being like, here's the Masters of the Universe pledge, get it all.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to ask, does Mythic usually do like the all-in pledge level, or you just have to do one of their levels and just have to add on a whole bunch of stuff?
Yeah, you pick like the best level and then you add on a whole bunch of stuff.
Well, so far they've only got basically that one add-on. Because if you're gonna get Solus, you're gonna get the Dragon Pledge.
I think they've learned their lesson because it was really hard for them to get a lot of their games out because they wanted to do massive print runs. And I know that we're a little bit off topic in terms of excess or value, but I think it actually relates well to backing this game. If this is going to be this box, the Dragon, and maybe another box, you're getting it in 2023. This is going to get produced. It'll be done. You'll have it. Whereas Solomon King and the other stuff just had so many delays for like 100 different reasons. Some like legal trouble, some of it was writing. But like Solomon King Wave 2, like I think it's still starting to arrive. And like that was like another like 5 or 6 boxes. It's just
Jeez.
Wow.
Yeah, they weren't able to do the life cycle. They really did the whole life cycle at once. And I think I'm wondering, sorry, I got 2 things there because I'm like thinking about it and also wondering at the same time. Hoping they've learned their lesson and have really just condensed this into something that is, sell it once, reprint it, sell it again, like step by step.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they are advertising it as a $40 add-on, but if you do take a look at the difference between the 2 pledge levels, is the difference of $30.
Yeah.
They're kind of advertising that you kind of save a little bit if you do with the Dragon pledge right now.
Well, that's the only thing you're getting extra. So if you're interested in even getting it at all, it doesn't make sense to get it like as an add-on. Like no. You wouldn't, nobody would do that. So it's weird to me that it's an add-on unless somebody wanted to get an extra one, I guess, in the pledge manager. Like if they're adding on, if you want another one for.
Yeah. I don't know if I would want to pay $40 for a giant dragon miniature.
Unless you're like,
I don't even know if I want to pay $30 for a giant.
But imagine all 4 of your heroes on the dragon.
Wait. Cool. Can all 4 heroes fit on the dragon?
Can you imagine?
All on the one dragon?
It's like 4 different saddles. Yeah. They're just all riding
dragons in order to do that.
Oh man.
My gosh.
All right. So let's take a look at this other add-on that we scrolled by.
Yeah. Whoops. There it is.
The All Mother's
Secret.
All Mother's Secret.
So a booklet, another 37 miniatures, another couple heroes, a few more tiles, a bunch more cards. Cards.
And it's about half of what you're getting, probably minus some of the tiles and cards. I'd say, about half to 40% of what's in the main box.
Yeah. Minus the heroes, but yeah.
So here's for me, $55 US, and you get 37 minis. You get like a couple more heroes. You get 4 more, I think, 4 more bosses. You get a bunch of stuff. And it's $15 more than the Soulless expansion, which is just a dragon.
Yeah.
You're getting a lot more in this expansion than a dragon for $40.
It's not even close. It's kind of strange that you point that out. Like $15 more for something that's infinitely more beneficial to playing the game.
More character.
Especially
more gameplay.
Especially since Soulless is in the core box just as a token.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's actually in the box, right? Like technically, right? Whereas this is a whole additional huge amount of gameplay for roughly the same price as getting that plastic dragon. Like just a little bit more, but like, I mean, that is strange. And it's weird that there's no pledge level that includes this either.
Yeah, no, if I was them, I would have actually included this as part of a Dragon Blitz, call it whatever, the All Mothers pledge, something like that. Bump this up to about $175 US.
And then have that dragon as an add-on on it.
Yeah, as your some of these other campaigns call them cosmetic add-ons or something like that.
And I think that's what's getting me is that they've labeled it an add-on when to me they've labeled it an expansion when to me it's like
just
an add-on.
No,
but
it's a cosmetic upgrade is what it is.
And I agree. I think the main reason why they've labeled it and they put it in the Dragon Pledge is because you have the magnetic miniatures, because you're able to do that feature. And then if you're looking at the box, there's probably no way to even potentially fit this thing in the box. So that's why it's an expansion, because otherwise they might have just done the Dragon Pledge. But since they couldn't fit it in the core box, it's separate. So you've got the Companion Pledge and the Dragon Pledge. And then they're like, well, there are some crazy people that will want to have 4 dragons, but all 4 characters on dragons just for whatever reason.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's just I think the word expansion is misleading to me.
Yep.
That's, but yeah, you are expanding the game though. So I get like it makes sense.
You're upgrading the game. I wouldn't say
we are people that have hundreds upon hundreds of games in our collections. What we think are expansions.
Yeah. I mean, you're expanding in size, I guess.
Yeah.
Yes,
Physically.
That's happen too if you spend too much time around the table.
Yeah.
That's right.
Cool.
It's just weird. I don't know. Yeah, for $15 extra, that, if you got to buy one or the other, obviously you go with this, but that this isn't even included in the pledge is weird. I don't know. Weird.
It's just the way Mythic presents their stuff, and I'm not the biggest fan of it, but I think you're definitely hitting on something here, because we talked about the Companion Pledge and we said, like, there's not much access, not much value. It's just, it is what it is right now. Then we started talking about the Dragon Pledge, but ended up getting dragged into the add-ons. So if you're comparing things right now, it's like if you take the Companion Pledge and add this, you're at $185. So we're $25 more. You've got a lot more game. The question really is, how much do you like Solus? And I think that's kind of lead us back into, we're on the add-on, so I think let's give a verdict on this, and then we can go back to the Dragon Pledge. What do we all feel about All Mother's Secret? I think this is just priced right. It feels like one of those things at retail that might actually be a little bit more expensive. I don't feel like I'm getting the best savings on the Companion box, but I feel like this may be like $10 to $15 cheaper to get it now.
Yeah, I would agree. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with this. I think this is definitely priced right. Even I think it's on the slightly tilted towards like it's on the value, and just by the sheer amount of content that it is adding to your experience.
Yep.
Yeah, I would say definitely leaning over the fence towards value. Yeah.
Absolutely. So I think that it's just a weird way the campaign's being presented compared to what everyone else has been doing. I think we can then safely render a verdict on the Dragon Pledge as being, it's more excess. It's not
tilted more excess.
Yeah.
I can see what they're doing. Like we all said, we can see what they're doing. People, the junkie people, the FOMO people out there like us, right?
Yeah.
2 years ago when we started this show 2 years ago, we are FOMO people. So I know who they're targeting.
But we got to call it what it is. I mean, look, we all got Galactus, so we do love our ex from time to time. But it doesn't mean that that's for everyone. That's not the purpose of the show. So it is a better value than buying it separate, but it's still something that is on the excessive side. Unless you paint like that. If you could paint everything like that, then whatever, just get it, because the game piece is just going to look amazing.
Yeah.
One day I'll get there. One day.
All right, so why don't we take a look at these stretch goals? Why should we be backing this on Kickstarter? What's all this fancy stuff we're getting as well?
Okay. Icon indicates a new stretch goal has been unlocked, and this icon indicates alternate sculpt has been added to. Okay. So campaign mode was added very, very early on, which I think they had that in mind.
Yes,
right.
But it's Kickstarter exclusive. So that is something I didn't actually realize.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, now that you point that out, that's wow.
That's odd. You can't do the campaign mode unless you have that Kickstarter.
Holy.
But
see, that's a big deal.
I think that is a big deal, but it also
Definitely
makes sense though to leave that type of stuff out of the retail, because us Kickstarter backers and hardcore board gamers have lots of stuff. We will reorganize our box. Like if you have extra paper and it's packaged and it's sticking out, we'll figure out a way to make it fit. It doesn't look as good on a retail shelf.
Right.
Also, how many people really complete campaign games or have way too many in their collection?
Yeah.
There's a little bit of that as well, I think, going on here. So it's like, given this campaign mode for everyone, that really wants a campaign mode, because otherwise, I mean, it's a progressive side-scrolling beat 'em up. So, it kind of makes sense that there isn't necessarily a campaign mode. There weren't too many of those in the old school console days.
Mm-hmm.
This is definitely inspired by Golden Axe. I don't care what anyone says. This makes me think of Golden Axe on Sega Genesis.
Absolutely.
Then it looks like you get an alternate tracker, 5 alternate plastic miniatures. You get the Warrior Brother.
He looks pretty cool. That's a Kickstarter exclusive. Yeah.
You get an additional horse.
Yep.
I think the additional ones you get are the ones with magnets. So if you don't back the Kickstarter, I don't think you get the magnetic horses.
No, you do get them. So the way it is, that's why there's 2, is the gray one on the map means it's untamed.
Oh.
And then once you've tamed them, you get the magnetic one.
This is just a different one. This is a different horse. So they've got another horse in there.
Or it's, for example, I think the horse can also act almost like an enemy. So that could also be the reason why there's one that's gray, because watching some of the playthroughs and just looking at some stuff, I did see the yellow ones on the map, but it's like you can tame those and the other ones are wild animals. And I don't know exactly
Okay. Different sculpts and stuff. Yeah. Okay. That's fair.
How they interact with the game yet.
Yep. More alternate sculpts than
alternate slaughterer.
The slaughterer. Look at that big ass battle axe. The additional kind of like Haiti.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah. It's a big old hyena.
Another alternate servant. Arnwall. Is this a new hero?
That's a new hero. I have basically that miniature in Zombicide Fantasy. So Undral and Arnwall were both in some hero packs.
Okay.
Oh, that's cool.
Spear Sister, an additional Wyvern. And then come on, people, let's get to 400. I want some.
You need the huge rocks.
There's the huge rocks. There's the cojones.
So yeah, you're getting quite a few miniatures with that and a new character.
Well, like we said, I didn't realize that the campaign was Kickstarter exclusive.
Yeah.
So that's really making me think hard about this game here.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's what I really wanted from this game, I think, is the campaign overall. I like the idea of just playing a scenario or we're just throwing it together.
I love both. I think depending on the way this works, I like the fact that there's 72 hero cards for the campaign mode. If they're easy to separate out, and that means it's like you can be playing a campaign, but your friends can come over and like, oh, we want to play this. We can just be like, yeah, no problem. You don't touch your cards. You just lay out what you've got going and you play. That's really cool to me because it makes the game like one of those. It makes it a campaign game that you can play easily over a long period of time, but still play it at every game night if it just everyone gets hooked on.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So interesting enough for a 13, well, was it like a 2-week campaign? I thought there'd be a lot more stuff by the time we're talking about it because there's about 10 days left now, I think.
Yeah. I think up at the top there, it said 12 days to go.
So this is going to be, a 20-day campaign or so, or maybe less?
Might be a bit less.
Yeah, I don't know.
It started this week, I thought, on the 19th. So it has not been very long at all. It's just over 2 weeks.
Right. And if I do some quick math here, we're about 2,700 backers between the two pledge levels. And it says that there has been 3,200 backers, which means there's probably a few people, like you say, Jason, probably just getting in on that pledge manager and not tying up their money for a very long time.
No, it's definitely what happens a lot with Mythic specific, and Joan of Arc and Solomon Kane were the two biggest reasons that happened. I know quite a few people that like myself, honestly, like I haven't backed a Mythic game since Solomon Kane. That was a very disappointing experience because of a lot of the things that were going on with Mythic at the time. Just all the stuff going on with Joan of Arc. the legal issues, and then Solomon Kane basically having the writers leave, them essentially retooling most of the game before they could even go into production, just having massive delays. And then talking to Rob and Anna Marie, I don't know if you recently got a game from Mythic. Do you want to share your
Steam Watchers?
Yeah, Steam Watchers,
Yeah.
and it was really good. It took a long time for it to get here, but I mean, part of that will be to blame on COVID.
Yeah.
But once it did get here, we were really happy with it. So it was a lot of fun, and the production quality was high.
Yeah.
Rule book was a bit weak, I believe. However, there's great videos out
Yes.
there from the Geek
Yeah.
and Sundry people that helped with that.
So I really think that Steam Watchers is a good example as to what Anastyr looks like. Like it's Mythic, but scaled back in such a way that it will deliver. And kind of following the model, if they want to make more, well, do a season 2, put this back on Kickstarter. I think companies, unless they're really going with a big game, I've got to be very wary about putting a game's entire life cycle up on Kickstarter.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be harder and harder to do. Or what might be more successful for companies is putting a nice box on Kickstarter and then, hey, sending the rest to retail if you know you can get paid for it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know, $55 expansion for this, I would pick it up at retail, no problem.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Now, how have Mythic Games been with their insert inside the box?
I'll tell you. So with Steam Watchers in particular, they all had great inserts.
Yeah.
The plastic was on the cheaper side. I'll say that. So it was a bit flimsy. However, the lids attached really well. Everything
Yeah.
was molded nice.
So you had little kind of like game trays, but not game
Yeah,
trays.
they
or
were
were they?
not quote unquote game trays, but they mimicked that style.
Everything fit in nicely. And
Yeah, and they fit
yeah.
nicely in the box. Everything fit really well. They were a bit flimsy for my liking, but to their credit, they have held well and they're fine.
Yeah. I think that's a missed opportunity on the campaign to just highlight like how are things going to go inside of the box, especially when you have that many components,
that many minis and stuff, right?
If it's any indication, I'm not too worried about it from what I've seen out of Steam Watchers, which wasn't really heavy with minis. So, I mean, it had some, but it's not heavy like
organized.
This. But it was very well organized. And I expect this won't be any different.
But like you say, Ryan, I agree. If they do have trays where everything slots in nice, that could be something to highlight.
Yeah, well, absolutely. I'm hoping
like as an outsider who hasn't had any experience with Mythic Games or looking at Mythic Games styles and everything like that, I take a look at that many components and I'm scared of what's inside the box and how everything's going to organize. So
you're not wrong to be afraid.
Put people like me who maybe first time to Mythic Games, put my mind at ease. What is it going to look like inside of the box? You should have that information.
Yeah.
I think it doesn't bother me as much because I just chuck all the inserts and make all the space possible. For example, I do have Batman, Gotham City Chronicles, the all-in of season 1, and a few things from season 2 actually in 2 boxes.
How many boxes did it come in?
Like 6.
Oh, wow.
Well done.
Well, I was going to say probably not as many as X-Men United that's arriving at people's doorsteps.
Right not as many as that. And I did manage to get all of Assassin's Creed in 1 box. So everything's in 1.
Impressive.
But I did have to chuck part of the inserts out. It's just the way it worked. It's
Yeah.
Now, I did not get the Assassin's Towers because they're just too big. They live by themselves. But everything else, I managed to get it done. So I think we've talked enough about Anastyr. We've taken a look at the pledges. We've really had a nice discussion going through it already in terms of excess or value. So we now just have to talk about shipping so that we can decide, is there any value in pledging this thing?
42 American.
42 American to ship us to Canada.
Yeah.
Which is pretty realistic.
Pretty standard for this type of game, I believe.
Yeah.
It still hurts.
Still, ouch. Yeah.
It still hurts a lot.
But it's reality and it's no different than everyone else.
It's a big box. It's going to be heavy.
Yeah. Yep.
Big box and heavy.
Some places in the world, $250 American. Holy moly.
Yeah.
Thanks.
I mean, it's 37 to the US and it's
Yeah.
42 to Canada. I mean,
Yeah.
we've seen a lot bigger discrepancies.
Oh, yeah.
And I mean, we were talking earlier about a couple episodes ago about Ascension Tactics and the cost of that, and you're getting the Kickstarter, and it's now available in retail, and it's $45. But like,
Yeah.
you're getting less stuff, but I have to say, you're not getting that much less stuff when it looks at like the shipping and then the actual cost of the game on Kickstarter. Whereas at this point, I feel like we'd be paying about this anyway. And also, if you're getting it retail, you're not going to get the stretch goals, you're not going to get the campaign mode, so you're gonna lose out by not backing this on Kickstarter. And even then, you'd probably be paying, maybe you wouldn't be paying. No, you wouldn't be paying shipping costs because most places now, I think it's what, like $150 for free shipping. So if you did grab all of it, you wouldn't be paying for any shipping costs.
Yeah.
You'd be paying taxes, like nasty taxes, because you're Canadian.
Yeah, that's a thing.
Yeah. So we're all probably in agreement there that getting this in on Kickstarter right now is probably the better value because you are getting that campaign mode.
Yeah, I would be disappointed had I not noticed that and waited for retail to not get the campaign.
I think, Rob, you would have been like, if either of us have gotten it, you'd be like, can you scan the cards? And
right? Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Make it behind a paywall and give me some print and play
right
afterwards.
That's not a bad idea. So I think we've gone over it. We've taken a look at everything. Ryan's scrolling all the way back up to the top now. Anastyr by Mythic Games. I'm going to toss it over to Ryan first. We'll change it up a little bit. Ryan, what do you think of this? Are you going to be backing this game?
This game has me very intrigued. For me, it doesn't seem like it's doing a lot more different than a lot of these games that I already have. Yeah, I know there are some of the differences like you say, like that, the side scrolling action. That's actually pretty cool. I actually really like that idea of how this game progresses and stuff like that. I don't know. I'll probably throw in like a couple bucks here. I'll probably put the $1 pledge here to see how things like pan out. I'll have to make up my mind in about 12 days. I don't know 100%. I'm really enjoying everything that I see, minus that a gigantic miniature is going to cost me. Well, okay, this is coming from the guy who's going to back Galactus.
Yeah.
But I don't know the scale. Like, as I was scrolling through this page, we didn't get the actual scale of this dragon, did we?
No, that's the main thing. If this has a better scale than the larger mini, like let's say it was, I think what the largest we saw was 70 millimeters. If this is bigger than 70 millimeters, I think it might not be a bad deal.
Getting back there, do you think it's in the FAQ?
It's possible that it's in the FAQ.
Let's just take a quick. Do I pay? No.
And find out
retail. We have plans of future releases of the game depending on the demand. However, while we do offer retail sales during Kickstarter, the retailer who want to back the campaign is not necessary for that game will be available through general.
So yeah, basically they're planning on going to retail, but no guarantee that it's going to go to a lot of distributors. So you might be you might have a lot of trouble getting it.
Yeah.
Much later date and a higher price point. Yeah. I'm disappointed that I don't know exactly what that dragon looks like.
Maybe we can ask. We can maybe put it
There's
in.
Probably something in the comments, so I'll open it up to viewers, anyone that's a fan of Anastyr. If it's been posted in the comments, we're just don't have the time to go through 2,419 comments. Feel free to let us know down below in the comment section.
Yeah, but otherwise, I really enjoy what I see. That expansion, I would definitely jump on it. If I do go on this, I am definitely going to get the expansion. It's got some good value. Like we said, it's leaning more towards the value side of how much content it is actually adding in to the campaign. It didn't actually say if like this was going to have a campaign mode. Is it in the cards here?
It doesn't say. It could also just be that it's included in it, or it could just be one-offs anyway.
Yeah.
It's possible that it's similar to the rules for Zombicide, second edition, where the campaign booklet and cards let you turn anything into a campaign mode. It could be that you can just carry on some cards from one to the other, but you may not be able to use maybe it doesn't have a campaign story.
Right. Kind of like was worried here. I read the word just mission, like singular, like not adding in many missions that they cannot refuse, but just kind of like maybe it's just poor wording.
That would be a lot of minis if it was just one mission.
Right.
Like 37 minis in one mission. Man, you're getting beat up.
Right. Yeah.
But you're right. It does say mission, but.
So I don't know. I'm going in for like $1 or $2 here and see what comes out. But if I do end up going in it, I'm definitely getting this expansion. I'll have to really, really put my nose to the grind if I'm going to get the big dragon. Hopefully I get more information about what the dragon look.
Yeah.
How big is that dragon? Come from the guy who's backing Galactus.
We're all backing Galactus, right?
We all know the size of Galactus. It's a toddler on your table.
True.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
All right, Rob and Anna Marie, where are you guys standing on Anastyr?
Well, for me, I agree with Ryan pretty much entirely. I think the game looks really cool. Is it similar to things I have already and already have kickstarted recently? Probably. That being said, I think it looks really great. I think the price is a little higher than I would have hoped for. But I do think you're getting value with that $55 expansion. I think my biggest problem right now is that I know if I see this game on a retail shelf, I'm going to want to buy it. So I should just probably back it to save myself,
the pain later.
Of the, especially without the campaign, that will really annoy me. So I don't know. I'm very close to wanting to back this, but I'm not sure. I don't know about you.
Yeah, I'm kind of there too. I've got that. Yeah, we all know what kind of backers we are. And I would get it, like, if we're going to go in on it, I agree with Ryan. I would definitely get that expansion, but I would not want to get this game without Solace either. Like I wouldn't, that like a ride on dragon, you could put that into another game too, right? It's cool. It's a cool feature. They got that magnetic thing, right? It hooks you. My beef is just with the way the pledges, and I wish that they would change that a little bit more. So I'm curious to see if anything does get changed or if it stays like this. I mean, judging from what you said, I think you're going to get it, but just because it's, like you don't want to kick yourself when you,
I just know I can picture myself pulling this off a retail shelf for sure. But it won't have that campaign. So,
yeah,
geez, I don't know.
We're leaning more towards yes.
Yeah. But
verdict is not out yet.
Yeah. Might have to wait a few more days and see if more comes of it. I'm not sure.
I might have to add to mine too. If I only just do the $1, get access to the pledge manager, I ain't getting this guy. If I do it that way, I don't get this guy.
That's right. Yeah.
An extra $15. And I believe I also don't get that extra hero that's in the stretch goals. I think that ends up being an add-on.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Oh.
There was one additional hero that you wouldn't have.
Yeah. If I go down, right.
Oh, that's the applicable stretch goals, right?
Arnwall.
I thought I read that somewhere, or was I just like daydreaming?
I did not see that one. I think it's just the avatar box.
Yeah, I think
it's just, okay, maybe it's just that. Okay. I was daydreaming.
No, you were scrolling, Ryan. You were scrolling.
I was scrolling.
Instead of
I get distracted really easy. Maybe I was reading something up here. Was it right here? $15 value. Oh, that's the Avatar. Never mind. I was reading Avatar.
There you go.
Edit that out, Jason.
Maybe not. We'll see. All right, so it's my turn now. It's been a while since I've backed a game. I've got a few games that I've pledged $1 on. We've looked at a lot of really cool stuff, but nothing has really been, I got this pledge finger itching. This one, however, the one thing that's kind of put over the top, and you can definitely score up, Ryan, is the 90 minutes per game. And watching the setup of the game, basically being like, take out the hero, take your hero's cards. You look at the scenario, pull out the cards for the enemies, pull the miniatures out. It looks like it's got a fairly fast setup to the game, and it hits that sweet spot for Julie and I right now. Because going over 90 minutes to play a game on a weeknight is pretty difficult. Mm-hmm. Also, the table presence of this one with its side-scrolling elements means it feels like this is something that as a campaign game, you can set it up, put it away, go back to, like, it's not living in my table like the Rings was for a while, or like Descent has to be, because when you're playing Descent, everything has to come out of the damn box.
Yeah.
So if you're not playing a few missions, you're like, well, why did I take this out in the first place?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this one really seems to have that smaller presence, great miniatures. And if they keep getting some more stretch goals, they'll have some cool 3D add-ons and things like that. But I'm going to get everything, because I agree with Anna Marie. Like, you gotta have that magnetic dragon.
Yeah. What's the point if you don't?
It's access, but I'm just going to be pissed off if I don't have it. Yeah. From someone, and it's going to be even more money.
Yeah.
But also, you need to get the other expansion box, like the Mother's Secret. Like, that's too much value there as well. So I'm going to go all in on this one. It might mean that a game I was thinking about potentially upgrading to later on, I won't. That will not be Tidal Blades 2. I'm definitely getting Tidal Blades 2 for sure in the Pledge Manager. But I think for this one, I'll start at least at the Companion Pledge and then upgrade the stuff later on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sweet.
That's another problem, is we've backed 3 games in the last 10 days. So
he's backed. He tells me, oh, I backed 2 games. I'm like, what are they?
We are not reformed.
So it's
the therapy sessions have been failing us.
Yeah, it's
there's been a lot of
stuff. It's funny, just you swear off, you're like, all right, I can go a week or 2 here without it, and like, oh no, I did 3 in the last 9 days.
You're not far off, because there's other campaigns that we're not talking about that have really caught my eye, and that some of those ones on GameFound I have clicked and backed.
3 I've backed on GameFound in the last 10 days.
I threw something in on GameFound just to get into the Pledge Manager, and I'm forgetting what it was. I saw it, I was like, oh, I need to make sure that I pledge to this, because I'm going to forget, but I'm trying to be responsible here.
No.
You're fighting the good
Last
fight.
Light. Go get Last Light.
Yes.
It looks really good.
It looks so good.
It looks good, but I think someone in our game group's going to get it, so I'm just going to
there you go.
Else spend
That's me.
on that one.
I'm the guy in my.
You're the guy in the game group.
I'm the guy.
That's fair, Jason. You're gonna get to play it, which is it looks pretty good.
Julie and I play more of the cooperative games, or we play more of the lower player interaction competitive games that we like a lot, or high player interaction but low in your face. And Last Light just seems like one of the ones that I'm going to buy. I'm going to love it, and then I'm going to be like, man, that one does not get played nearly as much as it should. Like, I had Rising Sun, and I love Rising Sun. I think I got played twice. I sent it on its way just because it's not getting to the table as good as it was.
Yeah.
Just those hard decisions you have to make.
Yes, it's true.
It's easy when you don't get rid of anything.
I was going to say, it sounds like a topic for an episode of something, but Rob and Anne Marie would just be like, yeah, we don't get rid of anything.
I'm so sorry.
Our room is shrinking.
I have to start getting rid of furniture.
That's what I want to hear. What do you do?
Oh, that's the way to do it.
Honestly, we have 3 couches over there. One of the couches is going, and we're bringing in a chair so we can put in another rack for games.
I'm going to say is if we try to discuss culling the collection, is you're saying we're going to be like how you actually like turn your collection into furniture?
That's right.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, we all did it back in college. The beer boxes turned into a couch.
That's right.
Yep.
Couple 2x4s and couple stacks of games. You got a coffee table. Yeah.
Engineering at its finest.
Yep.
College level engineering. This time, come into your game room. Would you be excited? I'm not sure. Unless
Can you imagine? Imagine if somebody put a video out there how to turn beer boxes into a calyx.
Yeah, I like that idea. I like it.
Coming. It's coming. Someone will do that now, and you'll have to say.
Yeah. See, you see, folks, I'm the idea. I'm the idea guy. Somebody else out there has to make it happen, though.
All right, so there you have it. It is our discussion on Anastyr. So thank you for joining us on our voyage into the past, or a fictionalized version of the past. And we'd love to hear what you think about this, if you're going to be backing it, or am I just going to be the one that's going to be like sending pictures of the dragon trying to tempt our co-host into backing the game? So
I'm just going to cuddle with Galactus.
I want to see a picture of you sleeping with him.
It will happen. That will happen.
My wife says when she's
matching pajamas.
Yeah.
All right, so I'll let them tell you where you can find them once again.
Yeah, again, everybody, it's been Rob and
Anna Marie
from the Meeple Dungeon out here in Kelowna, BC. You can find us on Twitter, YouTube, and our podcast on all the major podcasting sites.
The Meeple Dungeon.
I said that.
I know. I'm saying the Meeple Dungeon podcast,
yes.
or like
The
your
Meeple Dungeon podcast.
Cool.
Yes.
And your Twitter is what, like at
Meeple Dungeon.
There you go.
Yes.
There you go.
He's clearly the better half of the Meeple Dungeon right now.
That's right.
And folks, go listen to their podcast, because this is exactly what you kind of get. You get that wholesome nice banter between back and forth. It's beautiful. I really like it. I nominated you guys for the Golden Geeks, but you guys didn't.
Thank you.
Right?
Okay, and I've been Ryan from Mr. Owl's Gaming Rants and Reviews, and yeah, check me out on my new YouTube channel for all my rants, reviews, sometimes some playthroughs, like I did a playthrough with Rob with some Ashes Reborn, and I got some other playthroughs coming on down the pipeline. So yeah, just go check me out. Mista, Mista Rao Gaming Rants and Reviews.
Awesome. And you, of course, know where to find me because you found this video. So that's all that needs to be said. And you're going to remind everyone to like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell so that YouTube will let you know when our next video is released. And then down below in the video description, there's a link to multizone.ca, a great Canadian game store. Click that link, you'll get 10% off your next purchase. It's a great way to support the channels. A portion of that purchase is returned to us. Also, they do Kickstarter. So maybe if you want to save some shipping fees, I'm going to have to ask them if they are planning to bring it in. So make sure you check them out. And then you can also find a whole bunch of cool stuff about where all of these great hosts are. So all their links are included down below in the description as well. And now we're going to remind everyone to keep playing games.
That was our best one yet.